Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I love preseason football. I don't really care. I can't wait. We got the regular season like a little over a week away. Jordan Burch, third round rookie out of the University of Oregon. This guy had a phenomenal preseason for the Arizona Cardinals. He had a phenomenal preseason finale. You see him get that strip sack here. I love it. He had a 93.5 PFF grade in the preseason finale. And we're going to show you a bunch of clips that he had from his preseason football games. The explosiveness is crazy. This guy's like 6'4", but he weighs 280 pounds. And as we know, like this is Thayer Munford, right tackle for the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, he just pushes him away. So we'll go back. Look at the explosiveness off the line. All he does is push Thayer Munford and just gets right to Aiden O'Connell. And then you've got some reinforcements here. This whole Cardinals defensive line, the whole Cardinals defense is a big reason I have this team winning at least 10 football games. I always say that in my videos, and people are like, Kyler Murray likes Call of Duty more than he likes playing football or watching film. And it's like, folks, Jonathan Gannon with this defense, it feels like Walter Nolan in the first round, Will Johnson in the second round, and now just an absolute gem of a move in Jordan Burch in the third. Feels like he finally, and then all the free agent acquisitions, further development of talent, feels like Jonathan Gannon finally has the arsenal he wants with this defense. This was 2 weeks ago or a few weeks ago against the Kansas City Chiefs. Keep in mind, in this football game, he had 2 half sacks, but because of defensive penalties, both of these were nullified, right? Now, I get it, you're going up against, like he's playing with the second team Cardinals defense, right? But, right, he gets a little chip from 25 there. We have to be a little mindful of NFL copyright as crappy as it is. And then he brings him down. But, yeah, obviously, like I said, it gets nullified by penalty. And we'll show you in just 1 second. But I really love this guy's strength. Last season, so he played in college like 5 years. He started with my South Carolina Gamecocks, hits the transfer portal, finishes his 4th season at Oregon, and then they move into the Big Ten, and he has an even more difficult field of play, or strength of schedule, I should say. Last season, he had 8.5 sacks. He had 8.5 sacks at the University of Oregon last season. I really like this one, and you'll see the flag from, I think, this ref right here. He calls it immediately. We're looking over here on the left side, which, by the way, hit that like button if you guys haven't already. I try and make as many Cardinals videos as humanly possible. Your fan base, you guys are so cool. We just haven't really been able to hit it into the algorithm yet. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button, it goes an extremely, extremely long way. So thank you guys, but we'll let this go out. Sneaky quick as well. He ran a decent 40-yard dash. Oop, a little too far. So this one just keeps going, and you see he's about to call that flag here. What I really like is this whole defensive line. They're winning their matchups, specifically the interior, and then everyone just kind of comes in here. I love when football teams chase the ball. I feel like that's usually a pretty good indicator of talent on defense and coaching on defense as well. So yeah, you see this flag get called here. So these were his 2 half sacks against the Kansas City Chiefs that, as you see here, they're both nullified. So people aren't like looking at preseason statistics, honestly, in general. But then, even if they were, you don't see this show up on the stat sheet. There's 2 plays against the run from that beautiful game against the Las Vegas Raiders. And I do have to check myself here. I guess he clocked in at 6'5", 290 pounds. And here we go. He's on the right side of our screen here. Sniffs this out. He gets like double teamed. You see a little chip block from 18 on the Raiders. Tackle comes on in. That's not working. Maybe running back should have gone into this gap, but he just keeps following him. Like I said, he's kind of sneaky fast. Before we even get back into that, I'll show you it one more time. I mean, he's getting like pancaked here from 2 dudes. He's like got like I was gonna say Cardinal sandwich, but that's not really funny. And then just keeps with him, and it results in a negative play. And then we got this one against the Broncos here. Sorry, it's horribly cut out. You can barely see him. You can see he's on this right side of the screen here. I'll crop it so you guys can see a little bit better. This against the Broncos. We got a run. I like how he maintains this line of scrimmage against, looks like the Broncos tight end, yeah. Maintain. I like that he's keeping this left arm out, making sure he's got control. all these Cardinals guys are winning their matchup, hold and contain, and then you see a little 2-for-1 special on this run stop. So it's not just elite pass rushing. He also did a phenomenal job with, we already did that one. He does a phenomenal job against the run here. So this was against the Broncos, but that first clip we showed you, like I said, he was one of the best defensive players in the entire week 3 of preseason, and it is kind of weird. I don't know what happened to the preseason. We used to have 4 games. Starters used to play like the whole first half. I don't know if you guys were watching on Saturday, Friday, and Thursday. Barely saw any starters playing in these football games. But I do want to show you one last clip here. So this is just from Cardinals training camp, and you see him right here. This player he's going up against, obviously this is just like I said, training camp rep here, but you really see his strength on display. I know he's going against a tight end. His name is Travis Volkolek, but he's 6'6". This guy right here on the left side, he's 6. Oh, don't know how to draw a square. He's 6'6", 260 pounds. So I know it's not a tackle, but you can't give him, and we've even seen a few of these clips, you can't give him a tight end. You're going to need a little bit more. You're going to need a nice little left tackle or right tackle there to stop this guy. It has me really excited because the whole Cardinals defense is pretty underrated. Like we already mentioned, Walter Nolan and Will Johnson. I don't know. Well, I know why Will Johnson fell all the way to the second round, but I still think it was stupid on NFL GMs. I don't think the Cardinals were expecting Will Johnson available there in the second round. But my point is, you've got Baron Browning. They just picked up a bunch of dudes. Calais Campbell, most notably Josh Sweat. And I know Jordan Burch is more of a rotational rookie in his first campaign, but you're going to see him make an impact. And I always say this with rookies, especially if they're not first in the starting team depth chart. Jordan Burch this upcoming year is probably not going to be a statistical season. People always hate when I say that. And what I mean by that is Jordan Burch probably is not having 8.5 sacks in his rookie season with the Arizona Cardinals. But for my Cardinals fans watching this video, you're going to be watching this guy like you're seeing him in preseason. He just overpowers this tight end. It's not even close. And he's going to have an impact on the field. That's 100%. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up the video here. Just give me a minute to rant because the Cardinals are one of these teams. And by the way, I'm like huge on the Seattle Seahawks. And that's probably not the way I should end this video. But my point just is, the Arizona Cardinals are a huge sleeper in the NFC. They're a huge sleeper in the NFC. One thing they need to do this upcoming season is win their divisional football games, right? Can't be going negative. At least have to go 3-3 in these divisional games. But I've been saying the Cardinals should win 10 games because as much critique as Kyler Murray gets, this defense is crazy. And I wanted to just kind of pull up this depth chart here and rant to you guys because they have a bunch of new additions, most notably from free agency. You have Calais Campbell. You got Dalvin Tomlinson, who's super underrated in general. You got Josh Sweat, who's an absolute game wrecker. And then you have all these guys, like first off, Baron Browning, Budda Baker, Max Melton, the list goes on. But Will Johnson, Jordan Burch, and even with a Walter Nolan injury, this defensive line, I really like it. I really like their front seven with this linebacker room, guys like Jordan Burch, Baron Browning, and then this defense, like the interior. Calais Campbell still got plenty of juice left in the tank. So my point just always is, I say the Cardinals they're going to win 10 games, and I always get my comment section whenever I make these videos, they're always filled with, give me the 10 games the Cardinals are going to win. And it's like, all right, I'm big on the Cardinals. That's all my point is. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button. Hit that sub button if you haven't already. And then let me know down below what you think of Jordan Burch and this Arizona Cardinals team. Peace.